Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. Before the ceremony begins, let us give you a quick overview of this morning's program. We are delighted to have with us the Dean of the Lee Kong Chian School of Business, Professor Gerard George, to open the ceremony with a congratulatory speech. Afterwards, the valedictorian will deliver his valedictory speech. Then, we'll proceed to the presentation of the degrees.
As the school has engaged professional photographers to take individual and close-up shots of graduates on stage, kindly refrain from standing up or walking around to take photographs. Graduates, we also seek your kind cooperation to refrain from taking selfies when on stage. After the ceremony, graduates will be ushered together with faculty to take a group photo. All photographs will be made available on the photographer's website from 15 August. For more details, students can check with the registrar's office after the ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in welcoming the Grand Processional.
Dean Jerry, distinguished guests, professors, graduates, parents, families, and friends. Let us all, at this point of time, stand for the national anthem.
Thank you, and please take your seats.
Dean Jerry, distinguished guests, professors, graduates, parents, families, and friends. A very good morning and a warm welcome to Commencement 2019 of the Lee Kong Chian School of Business. My name is John.
And I'm Grace. And we are both graduates of the Lee Kong Chian School of Business, and we are honored to be your MCs this morning.
So Grace, tell me, What is your most important takeaway throughout these 4 years of education?
Has got to be tea party, right? I mean, who has never taken away tea party to their classes before? And then to annoy all your classmates and professors because of how the scent makes everyone in the room hungry.
Oh, Grace, I'm getting hungry already. So Grace is right. Grace is a foodie like many of us here this morning, and we are indeed blessed to have SMU Central location, which makes it great for foodies like us. So Grace, beyond that, seriously though, what is your greatest takeaway these 4 years?
Definitely the art of preparation. If there's one thing SMU has taught me, it would be that there's always one more thing coming up, and that you should be well prepared to handle contingencies that crop up, be it in your schoolwork, project work, or even in your personal life.
Indeed, I really agree with you. My experiences in SMU has taught me the importance of having contingency plans in everything you do, and the importance of thorough preparation.
Yes, indeed.
In fact, in my SMU education, the most important aspect that has encapsulated the essence of preparation was class participation. For our distinguished guests and parents who are unaware, usually class participation takes up about 20% of our final grade. So this has really honed graduates to take part in participations and to further add on to contributions and to have the confidence to speak on stage and to deliver addresses. So personally for me, this has also been instrumental in my personal and professional development, such as now in my job, in my current job, I have to deliver such as like weekly presentations to middle management, senior management, and it's all thanks to SMU's great education.
Yes, and all of these would not have happened if not for the guidance of our professors, as well as the unconditional support from our family.
Also, let's not forget all our friends who have joined us on this amazing journey today. So I'd like everyone to join us in a round of applause to thank the graduating class of 2019.
And now to start the program, let us welcome the Dean of the Lee Kong Chian School of Business, Professor Gerard George, to deliver his congratulatory speech to the graduates. Dean Jerry, please.
Good morning. I'll tell you how this speech is going to go. If I have like one sentence and I pause, you have to start clapping. Thank you. I don't know about my students, but my faculty are amazing. They just know this routine, right? By the way, thank you. I can still change my mind, and I won't give you your degree. I'm not sure who will be punishing more, whether it's the parents or the students. So I'll give it to you anyways. So just remember this. Try this again. Good morning. Oh, right. Better, better. Hey, the kid there who's looking at his phone rather than, focusing. I'm going to pick out each of you if you stop. Distinguished guests, parents, family members, and the graduating class of 2019. See, if I hear that side of the room louder than this side, that means I don't think you've earned your degree. Because your parents are much more enthusiastic than you are. All right, so I'll go through my speech, but you have to make a lot more noise, okay? All right, that's the deal. So I'm going to start with, I know our two friends tried doing this, and the response was very tepid. It was not that good. So I'm going to try this once more. For all the parents and family members who are there, who stayed up every night waiting for you to come home, who made sure there was food on the table so that you could eat something before going to bed, who made sure that they would set the alarm clock to wake you up and kick your ass out of bed, let's say one big thank you. Does it feel like you've been thanked enough? No. Try it again. All right. Little better. We're getting there. I also want to acknowledge that your classmates who are here, right? Love them or hate them, they really, really helped you to become who you are. So let's hear it for all of you here today. You know, this is graduation. This is not like class part. So you have to make real noise. You can hoot. You can, when you come out here to get your degree, if you want to break dance, that's okay by me. So today's your day. So let's make sure that you really, really show it, right? There's another group of people here, right in front of me, our faculty and our professional staff all over the place who really helped you get through this journey. So let's hear it for them as well. I do this once a year, so I'm going to talk to our parents a little bit, then I'll talk to you a little bit. First, to our parents, I'm going to boast a little bit, but most people will call this branding or marketing. But you see, the business school is doing remarkably, remarkably well, right? And thanks to all of our efforts, collective efforts here today. So if you look at our rankings, the Financial Times ranked us the 7th in the Asia Pacific. That's up from 13. Well, I should read my notes. We're 6th in Asia Pacific, and we moved up 7 places from 13 last year. I know. The kids never stop learning, so this is another moment where we are trying to get them all enthused by it. We achieved for the first time a top 50 placement in the QS subject rankings in 2019. We were ranked 41. And for us, that's important because this is a ranking where other deans like me vote. So it's a bit of a popularity contest. So I'd say, yes, this is a popularity contest and so forth. It really doesn't matter, but it does. Because for a 19-year-old school, it really makes a big difference that peers around the world, 5,000 of my peers who vote, and we come up in the top 50, that's an amazing achievement. So congratulations. Apart from popularity contests, they vote because I'm a handsome dean, but apart from that, it's also a joke. It's okay. Our exec MBA is ranked 22nd in the world by Financial Times. Our MBA is ranked at 43, and our wealth management program is ranked 3rd in the world. We're also the youngest business school to receive triple accreditation. It's like, for those of you who are into horse racing, it's not like that. This is to make sure that so the American standard is AACSB, which makes a certain set of standards. They've got 15 standards for assurance of learning and so on, to ensure that we deliver to the highest level. Globally. So we passed that with commendations. The European standard, they've got another one called EQUIS. And we passed that with flying colors. And the third one is the Association for MBAs, or AMBA, and to make sure that our postgrad programs are also globally leading. So together, what it means is that the processes we put in place and the robustness with which we ensure that teaching and learning is important within this context meets the best global standards. And we are the first in Singapore. There's another indicator that we usually don't talk about, which is how good our faculty are in terms of thought leadership. So I joined 5 years ago, and when I joined, we were ranked 59 in the world. And now, this past year, we are ranked 33. I like it. Good, good, good. We'll give him a degree as well. Not only in that, again, apart from being, you'd say 33 in the world doesn't sound that impressive. But remember, the schools that have been here for a long period of time, much larger, in some ways, we've been blessed to have 3 Singapore institutions in the top 50 globally, right? For such a tiny country, there is no other city that actually puts in, well, London does and San Francisco does. But other than that, I don't think any other place really can deliver this kind of value or this kind of intellectual capital. So even though I credit both the other schools, which we shall not name, we are still the first in Singapore. So there's another one in Hong Kong called HKUST. We are like 2 ranks behind it. I think the Hong Kongese people are fixing it for themselves. I'm just kidding, no. Don't get me into trouble. I'm also very proud of your achievements. As whether it's competitions, whether it's getting out there to represent SMU and do well, we've got fantastic results. SMU Team Meridian, comprising of undergraduates, edged out 31 other teams to become champions of the Maritime Summit Case Challenge in 2019. They're all operations management majors. How many of you are operations management? Okay, you should at least loudly clap for them. SMU's Team Connect, comprising 4th year business Chu Chen Hao and Cassandra Ong, and 3rd year Jessica Lee and Sharon Wong, clinched the championship title at the 4th National Human Resource Case Competition. Congratulations. Sometimes I think helping our students become more articulate and confident is a good thing. But once in a while, I get parents come and talk to me, says, Prof, you do your job so well that I get so much lip at home. See, only the parents laughed. Right? So, but really what we are very proud of is that your sons and daughters, our students, our graduates today, are now much more confident in the role that they are going to take in the world. Right? They are much more open and adaptive than we ever were. Right? So I'm really, really proud of our graduates today and for all the work that our faculty and staff have put in to shape them to where they are today. Well done. Like I mentioned earlier, I've had the privilege of being the dean for 5 years. And 4 years ago, I've met some of you. In fact, I remember some of your faces when I took pictures outside. And 4 years ago, in the open house, you had a choice. You had a choice of saying, should I go send my son or daughter to SMU, or should I send them to NUS and NTU? Because most of you would have come from NUS or NTU, I also told you, nobody's perfect, la, so at least let your kids be better. Right? This one's okay, you should clap for this one. But I am really, really grateful for your support and for your confidence and trust you've placed in us. And I hope you will be pleased with the results and what you're enjoying today. So thank you. See, I have to tell you, isn't that side louder than this side? Right? All right. Are you like super smart? You're going to get one of the degrees with extra things? No? Then you should clap louder, okay? All right. So let me talk to you for just a little bit. with your degree, you will always be associated with the business school, with SMU. And I think you have the responsibility to do the school proud. The first thing you can do is to remain part of the school. A lot of things that we've introduced, including experiential learning, what we call SMUX, our CCAs, our mentoring program, all of this requires our alumni to come back and to remain part of us, right? I do hope that you will continue to cherish your relationship with SMU and build on it as you go forward. The other element that I'd like you to remember is that whenever you are outside, that in the workplace or in the community, you really reflect SMU. Whenever you do something fantastic, whenever you do something not so appropriate, they will say, that kid, oh, he went to SMU. That's the wrong thing to do, right? So during the time here, we've thought about and helped you and given you certain values, and we call them circle values. For our parents, circle values are C for commitment, I for integrity, R for responsibility, C for collegiality, L for leadership, and E for excellence. So I do hope that you live those values, because when you do live those values and you make the right decisions, it reflects not just well on you and your family, but it reflects gloriously on us. So thank you for sticking with those values. The school will continue to invest in you too. You are 21, 22, 23, and you would continue to grow and adapt. And now we say that our life expectancy is 89 years old. So I look forward to receiving you back for a postgraduate program. Don't be cynical, I'll give you a discount. Don't worry, they'll pay for it themselves. Whether it's an MBA or whether it's any of our master's program in finance, you need to keep enriching yourself intellectually and adapt your skills as you go forward. We also have a slate of programs that are not necessarily degree granting, but continues to impart skills through SMU Academy. So I'd encourage you and your parents, because they're not quite 89, right, to invest in yourself as you go, as you grow. And think of this as a learning journey where SMU is a partner through your life, right? So I do hope that you will come back, you will contribute, and if you really make it like superstar, awesome, rich, I'll come and ask you for money, right? That's a good problem to have, by the way, right? So I'd say continue being part of the SMU family and continue learning and building yourself. So that's the broad message that I have. But every year I have a simple message. A simple message that I'd like students to remember as they go out. The previous year, I emphasized about meaning and purpose in what we do. This year is slightly different. This year it builds on that theme, but a little bit different. I'm a professor of innovation and entrepreneurship, so I'm a pretty good professor. Right? There's one. I think he's lining up for promotion. No problem, la. It's done. Awesome. One of the papers that I've written is a paper called Absorptive Capacity. And that paper has over 10,000 citations for us, which is like the signal of becoming a classic paper. But what's in that paper is that how firms can continue to create breakthrough innovations and create value by how they manage knowledge, right? That's absorptive capacity. There were some key lessons in that paper. First was that a firm's capability is driven by its underlying routines. And that routines to acquire and assimilate knowledge created potential capacity. Acquire and assimilate knowledge created potential capacity, while routines to transform and exploit knowledge create realized capacity. So why did this paper become a classic is that I think it's because we say that innovation is not just because of the resource or the money or the effort you put into it, but it's also the routines underlying it. So while you have routines that increase your potential, but not everybody can realize the benefit of that potential. Right? The same principle applies to individuals. We believe that routines have an important part in our daily life. When I was preparing for my graduation speech a couple of years ago, my deputy dean is so good. He said, Jerry, I don't think you can create a good speech. Here is a YouTube link of an admiral giving a speech in a US school. Very good, rah-rah, all very good, right? So, but I did listen to that speech hoping I'll get some tips, but it's very difficult to imitate an admiral because he'll say, 10 push-ups, I can't do. I ask them for one push-up, they'll snigger at me, right? But one thing that the admiral said was really stuck with me, was that he said that the best thing he does every day, the first thing he does, is to actually make his bed. Because when you're out there in training or when you're in camp or when you're out fighting, doing something else, you don't know how your day is going to go. But when you come back home, at least you've got a nice bed to sleep in. Right? So the routine is about making sure that you prepare yourself in the morning. Right? Some might call it discipline, but I think it's a routine because you don't necessarily think about it. You just do it. Every morning when I come to work, you know the business school is right next to the cathedral. I was raised Catholic. So every morning I spend 5 minutes. I say, hello, Jesus. It's not deep prayer, but every morning I make it a routine to spend 5 minutes of reflecting about what I'm going to do useful or impactful that day. So when the day is done, I would have at least finished one thing that I set out to do that day. But that 5 minutes of reflection really changes my approach to how I tackle that day. So another routine I have when I meet my colleagues, some of my students, I say, hey, how are you, superstar? Are you awesome? And you look handsome, and things like that. So in fact, this morning, the fellow who was clapping really hard to get a promotion, that faculty member, I told him, hey, you look handsome. He says, what did you say today? He says he didn't even acknowledge. You can boo for this one. Right? But the reality is that when you approach people positively, and I say, hey, handsome, how are you? Or awesome, how are you? My finance professor yesterday said, there are lots of names people call me. Handsome isn't one of it. But what that routine engenders is the positivity and optimism in people. Rather than saying, how are you? And he says, it's okay. It's like, because that doesn't really lift you up. So really, when you think about your routines, I think about my routines, it is about making sure that you're careful in how you enact them. I'll give you an example of one other routine. We are the largest business school in Singapore. This graduation season, we've broken it up into 5 different cohorts because we graduate nearly 2,000 people in both undergrad and postgrad together. So my daily life is filled with lots of random meetings, some good, some not so good, some pesky student, some really good students, but you just never know, right? But one day during the week, I changed my routine. Usually I come in a waistcoat and on that day I wear a half-sleeve shirt, a linen shirt, and then my staff know not to bother me that day. Right? It's a signal. And on that day, I just hang around with faculty, I do some reading, I do some writing, and so I'm able to catch up so that because we can stay in the top 50 in the world. And part of it is that routine, is to say, how do I give myself space for intellectual renewal? Right? So when I think about my routines, whether it's 5 minutes for mindfulness, for greeting people with optimism and energy, or allocating time for yourself for intellectual renewal, it really is about managing how we change ourselves over time. I typically don't use quotes from famous people, so I won't attribute this quote because our initial reaction is, oh yeah, he's so famous that it doesn't apply to me. The quote goes like this: "We but mirror the world. If we could change ourselves, the tendencies in the world will also change." So in other words, he's saying, if we could change ourselves, the tendencies in the world will change. As a man changes his own nature, so does the attitude of the world change towards him. So as a man changes his own nature, so does the attitude of the world towards him. There are two parts to this. By the way, when they wrote it, man, woman, different. Now, I could have read it as a woman changes his own nature, but I'll get into trouble if I make a wife joke now. There are two parts to this. First is what a clever marketing person coined as be the change you want to see in the world. Right? So if you want to change the world, be that change. If you want to be positive, be positive. Right? But to me, the second half is equally important. As a man changes his nature, so does the attitude of the world change towards him, means that the world acknowledges that you have changed and responds positively, but that change is not because you sat under the Bodhi tree in Campus Green and attained nirvana, but it's because we changed the simple things in our daily life. So let me bring you back to my research. Firms and people succeed because they have capabilities to adapt or change over time. These capabilities are made of routines of how we act and interact every day. Whether you have potential or whether you realize that potential depends on those routines. As SMU graduates, you clearly have great potential. Everything we've taught you is about making sure that you have that potential. You've got the knowledge and skills to change the world. We also hope that we've given you the values to create a positive change in this world. But what will separate some of you from others in terms of the greatness of what you would achieve in your lifetime is the routines that convert potential into real outcomes. So the next time someone says, it's all routine, right? You have to ask yourself, what is in your routine? Because to me, the seeds to greatness lies in the small things we do every day. Do it with meaning, do it with purpose. I wish you all a tremendously successful and joyful future. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dean Jerry. The next person coming on stage is someone who has left quite an impact on school and on all of us. This person has spent 4 years exemplifying not just academic excellence, but also striving to make an impact within and outside the university.
He has held concurrent presidencies in both the SMU Ambassadorial Corps and the SMU Track and Field Club, and represented SMU in conferences and competitions abroad as well. Currently an associate consultant at the prestigious Bain & Co., he has stopped at nothing short of perfection in his pursuit of excellence.
Now, let us invite the man himself, this year's DBS Bank School Valedictorian of Business, Kevin Fan Shilei, on stage to deliver his valedictory speech. Kevin, please.
Good afternoon, Dean Jerry, Deputy Deans, Associate Deans, faculty and staff, distinguished guests, loved ones, friends, and fellow class of 2019. Today we are gathered here to recognize our efforts and celebrate our achievements. Class of 2019, congratulations, and we can be proud to say that we have made it. Each of us entered this hall today with our unique set of experiences and our fair share of challenges. But we'll leave these doors today with our success stories, ready to take on the world as confident leaders of tomorrow. On behalf of all graduates, I would like to express our deepest gratitude to the faculty and staff. SMU's path toward being a world-class premier university capable of producing stellar graduates would not be possible without your dedication and hard work. Thank you. Now, we all come to university expecting to learn life lessons and, being a different you, discovering a different you, something that the university promised us throughout our time here. For me, I found that such lessons are at times embedded in unexpected situations. So allow me to share 3 such takeaways. So my first takeaway is that failure is inevitable, but how we fail shapes who we are. So in our highly competitive environment, we can be quite disillusioned at times by this constant chase for example, internships early on. So we often hear success stories around us and sometimes wonder whether failure is in the dictionary for some. So for me, in the summer of my second year, while the vast majority of us were taking on our first or even second internships, I was only invited to 2 interviews and did not receive any offers at all. So I know you guys are not the only ones to say it. This guy died now. Okay? Yeah, but it was pretty disconcerting knowing that I'm entering the penultimate year internship applications with no internship experience. So then I thought to myself, first of all, is there anything that I can do now to actually bridge this learning gap? And second, was there an opportunity to differentiate myself, given all this free time on hand? And then I thought, why not pour my heart and soul into my 2 student clubs, the SMU Ambassadorial Corps and the SMU Track and Field Club? Win-win, right? So in the process of doing so, I learned how to negotiate better when forming partnerships with external organizations, how to communicate better as a leader, and most importantly, I discovered more about myself and what I'm passionate about. And one of the things that I'm passionate about is high jump. So back then, a few of us started the Singapore High Jump with the hopes of building our community and raising the profile of our sport. And this motivated me to continue with the sport, but also gave me a platform to contribute back to the community even after I graduate. And incidentally, this was also part of my story that actually left a relatively deeper impression on my interviewer at Bain, which was presumably how I got my full-time offer as well, or at least part of it. Now, while we know that how we fail is important, we should also recognize that failure is not uncommon at all. So let me give you an example of how what I think is actually funny to myself, of how we high jumpers fail all the time at the track. So with high jump would know that actually every competition kind of ends in a failure, because you may be soaring over the bar, clearing height after height, but after 3 consecutive failed attempts, you're out. So while this may be so, it is comforting to know that there are people who have been with us every step of the way, your coaches, your friends, your family, who are on the sidelines cheering you on. And under their watchful eyes, I understand my current self better while gaining the confidence to challenge the bar once again. Every attempt is important in helping you discover how to perform better at the next opportunity. So my second takeaway was actually uncovered during my exchange to Wharton, where I learned to be flexible and open-minded, even in uncertain environments. So some of us like this sense of certainty, familiarity, which we default to in uncertain and foreign environments. So I'm pretty much like most people on that aspect, usually. Sometimes bordering excessive in my use of Excel to check your plans, and actually booking flights, accommodations, and everything else in advance. But this time I didn't. So all I did was book my accommodation and flights prior to flying off. And seeing all my friends book flights, Airbnbs, making weekend trips, plans, and so on, kind of feel a little FOMO sometimes, like you're missing out on something. But I think this actually gave me the opportunity to immerse myself in what the city and university has to offer. And so I actually spent Thanksgiving break with 5 new friends that I met from 5 different nationalities. I also had the opportunity to take a road trip to places where only residents would know about, but they offer remarkably scenic views. And I also had the opportunity to take part in many student club activities where I got to know the locals better, beyond just the corridor, hey, how are you doing today? What's up, man? That kind of thing. So it was really good getting to know people on a more personal level because of all this time that you take to immerse yourself in these experiences. So to this day, I actually keep in contact with these friends. And it's nice to know that whenever I'm in, let's say, Brussels, Idaho, Texas, wherever, I can actually have someone to co-op with and reconnect and learn even more when I'm in the country or the city itself. And all of a sudden, you realize that, hey, being spontaneous is actually pretty fun. And that was how I discovered a different me that I learned to embrace. And I also argue that being open-minded played a huge role in helping me secure my full-time offer. So this was back to the second day of exchange, where I was still trying to settle in, getting comfortable with the place, and someone asked me whether I'd like to go on a city tour with them. I had previously declined going on this tour because, come on, it's the second day of my exchange. All I want to do is settle in, not to be bothered too much about the change. But I thought, okay, why not? Someone asked me, why not just go along, go with the flow? And thankfully I did that because during the tour I actually met a Singaporean MBA student, and we had a pretty wonderful day out and conversations, and eventually she extended a helping hand to me when I was applying for my full-time offer. So just a little context to that. 2 weeks prior to my first round case interview, I knew nothing at all about case interviews. And that was when she pulled me along for an MBA-only case workshop, which was pretty much the only resource I had preparing for my interview. And it's a pretty much fairy tale ending for me in a way, where eventually we both managed to secure offers to the same firm, and today we are working at the same place. So sometimes things happen in the most unexpected ways. And for me, life-changing encounters were a result of being flexible and open-minded. So it would do us well to maintain a certain level of openness, not just in terms of embracing new environments, but also when it comes to interacting with others. Because you never know if you could be that turning point in someone else's life. So my third takeaway is to not let dreams be dreams, but to actually act on them. So one of the many dreams I have is to pursue an MBA. Now, some of you here who know me might remember that right before my exams last semester, I actually took 3 weeks off from school. And I flew back to where I did my exchange so that I could explore MBA opportunities, to try out some of the classes, as well as to reconnect with my mentors and friends. Now, but what people might not have noticed was what went on behind the scenes. So for starters, it required me to think about what modules to take. And the modules that could actually allow me to leave for a solid block of time were modules that I wasn't very comfortable with. And next, I also had to write in to professors in the school and make a case for attending their classes. And last but not least, the more practical things like having to find an accommodation that was inexpensive and available for the entire 3 weeks that I was there. And all these were things I started planning for even before coming back from exchange. So we all have dreams, and the realization of your dream begins with a single step. Take action and never understate or deceive yourself about how you feel toward your dream. Recognize that a dream requires a series of deliberate actions that take time to materialize, and start taking action today. So these are 3 lessons that I've gleaned in the most unexpected situations. As we enter the complex world that awaits us, think about what makes you different and what defines you. Never compromise on this and your values, because these are what got you here and will take you further in the days to come. We've spent many years sowing the seeds, and the flowers have bloomed. So let us not forget to pause every once in a while and appreciate how far we have come. We truly deserve it. So before I end, I'd like to thank a few groups of people. So all my friends, especially the SMU Ambassadorial Corps and the SMU Track and Field Club, for being my 2 families from the start to the end. My mentors and student club managers for investing your time and effort in my personal development. And on behalf of all graduates here today, a huge thank you to all parents and family for the selfless dedication and taking care of the little things in our life so that we're able to focus on making the best out of our SMU experience. So class of 2019, congratulations once again, and it has been a pleasure walking this journey together with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelvin. Without further ado, let us invite the Dean, Professor Gerard George, and Senior Lecturer Mark Kim Ming on stage to proceed to the presentation of our degrees. Dean Jerry and Senior Lecturer Ma, please.
Before we begin, may we remind graduates to return to your seats immediately after receiving your degrees and remain seated to the end of the ceremony.
Parents and friends, once again, please refrain from taking photographs with your personal cameras. Graduates, we also seek your kind cooperation to refrain from taking selfies on stage.
Jacinta Koo. Janice Lim Yi Ning, summa cum laude, Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Science, Economics. Jared Liu Jian Wei, summa cum laude. Jesslyn Ng Xin Hui. Jasmine Ng Jiamin. Jeline Angela Prijos Rondon. Jennifer Annette Dion Maria Zonzens. Jaron Ong Linde. Jerry Chiang Ju Ming. Tan Si Yen Grace, magna cum laude. John Sir Colway, cum laude. Jessica Khalid. G. Ren, summa cum laude. Jill Sim. Jin Ziyan, magna cum laude. Joan Ong Ming Hui, cum laude. Jody Ng Wei Si. Joel To Sien En. Joey Go Siu Ting. Johar Sokri bin Jafar Al Khatib. Jomian O Si Min. John Ang Kai Hui. Jonathan Fong Junjie, summa cum laude. Jonathan Luk Jinrong. Jordan Go Kokpin. Joy Tan Sing Mei. Joyce Chia Ying Ying. Joyce Ong Si Min. Kan Shing Chun, summa cum laude, Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Accountancy. Kang Jie Qi, Jackie. Kanish Kanakia. Karine Chao Sin Ting, magna cum laude. Karina Ng Jin Yi. K. Kai Mian. Keith Wee Ping Zhen. Kelsey Ko Jia Yun. Kenneth Ng Kao Lun. Kenneth Yao Kok Phai. Kester Teo Zi Kai, cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Economics, Bachelor of Business Management. Keith Tan Xuan Yu. Ke Shina, cum laude. Ko Sun Chuan. Kim Chai Yun. Kim Jong Won. Kim Ji Won. Kimberly Lim Xiang Qi, magna cum laude. Kimberly Keng Xiaoyuan. Ko Kang Ho. Ko Cheng Han Edwin. Ko Eun Yong. Ko Jia Qi, summa cum laude. Ko Yu Zhuang, Ko Zhenlong, Leonard, Ko Zhiying Cheryl, magna cum laude. Kok Wen Ying, cum laude. Kok Yingen Valerie, cum laude. Beverly Ko Shiyan, cum laude. Celine Kwek Ke Yin. Lam Hui Yun, magna cum laude. Lau Guan Yuan. Lauren Lau Lu Ting, magna cum laude. Lin Liu Siyan, summa cum laude. Lo Chin Hao Dennis. Lee En En Rachel, cum laude. Lee Guan Jie. Lee Hen Wei, Vera, magna cum laude, Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Social Science. Li Jiakang, cum laude. Li Jiali. Li Jiashen, Justin, cum laude. Li Jiaying, Clarissa, cum laude. Li Jingde, magna cum laude. Li Zhongjian. Li Peifang. Li Peiyi Shireen. Li Peiying Reggie, cum laude. Li Peizheng Kumar, cum laude. Li Shihui Emily. Li Simin. Li Weiping. Li Yixing Jenny, cum laude. Li Yu Chen, cum laude. 李智英 magna cum laude. Lina Farad, daughter of Haja Nawas. Lei Jiaying Sheris. Liu Changjie. Leong Chi Ming. Leong Jiamin. Liao Huimin. Liao Huiming Marcus. Livia Go Min Jie. Liu Yuepin, magna cum laude, winner of Fu Kongtan Auditing Award, Bachelor of Accountancy, Bachelor of Business Management. Li Zhou Lun. Liu Jiamin. Liu Junxiang, Marcus, cum laude. Liu Li Lin, Lynette, cum laude. Liu Mei Ta, cum laude. Liu Zixing. Lim Chiu Hong Rebecca. Lim Cheng Yi, summa cum laude. Lim Chi Yang, magna cum laude. Lim Chun Wee, magna cum laude. Lim Fang Min. Lim Hui Xiang. Lim Jiaxian Nicholas, cum laude. Lim Jiaxing, magna cum laude. Lim Jiayi, cum laude. Lim Junquan, Wesley, cum laude. Lim Min Kwan. Lim Ming Liang, Ryan. Lim Pei Wen, Denise. Lim Pin Cheong, cum laude. Lim Chien Wei, cum laude. Lim Shi Ni. Lim Sui Ming, James. Lim Si Min, Cassandra. Lim Wan Yi, Julene. Lim Xiaojun. Lim Yu Wei, Jonathan. Lim Yi Min. Lim Yu Qian, Vivian. Lim Yue Ling, Valerie, summa cum laude. Lim Zhao Liang, Isaiah. Lim Zixuan, magna cum laude. Lin Huimin. Lin Junhong. Lin Shan. Leno Tan Junlong, magna cum laude. Liu Rei Chun. Leletan Tan Yi Rong, cum laude. Lo Hui Wen, Karina. Long Shi Jian, Nicholas. Lu Zhengheng, Brian, magna cum laude. Louis Yin Yi, magna cum laude. Lo Dong Ying, magna cum laude. Lo Jiayu. Lo Junyu, cum laude. Lo Meiyi, cum laude. Lo Yik Chun. Lam Wing Ling. Lam Yurong, gracious. Lai Yao Sui. Ma Zhiyao. Mark Kerching, Clarice. Malcolm Han Yu Cho, magna cum laude. Malini Ravin Chian, cum laude. Manto Nicole Luis and Malagapo. Marcus Tang Zhenhao, summa cum laude. Marcus Teo Kong Yi, cum laude. Maria Luis Velasco Sunico. Mark Chua Hao Sheng. Michael Lim Jen Wen, magna cum laude. Michelle N. Lim Pei Ying. Mithilesh Rai. Mao Yuhui. Mui Tien Tin Win. Muhammad Sued Khan bin Muhammad Altab Khan. Muhammad Hazwan bin Zakarai, cum laude. Mridula Sairam, magna cum laude, Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Science, Economics. Muhammad Helmi bin Abdul Rahman. Muhammad Razif bin Muhammad Yatim American. Naini Gupta. Natalie Ng Ling Hui. Natasha Umbe Kaluza. Niu Hui Shen, summa cum laude. Niu Ming Hun, magna cum laude. Niu Rui Ying. Niu Wen Ling, magna cum laude. Nessa Ng Zi Mian, magna cum laude, Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Accountancy. Ng Hui En Julia, magna cum laude. Ng Hui Lin Marilyn. Ng Hui Quan Claudia. Ng Jiamin Jasmine, magna cum laude. Ng Jianing, cum laude. Ng Junda. Ng Junkai, magna cum laude. Ng Junming. Ng Kai Li. Ng Lin Xuan. Ng Ling Yin. Ng Ming Ru, Gladys, cum laude. Ng Shi Ni. Ng Shi En Prudence. Ng Tian Xing. Ng Si Yang Kevin. Ng Xin Yi Alicia, cum laude. Ng Xiu Yan Alina. Ng Ying Ren. Ng Ying Hui Eunice. Ng Zhiwei Darren, magna cum laude. Ng Shiqi. Nguyen Hong Bao Zheng, magna cum laude. Isaac Ng Zhehui, magna cum laude. Nguyen Pham Ng Thuy. Nicholas Ang Ching Yang, summa cum laude. Nina Gebi. No Afika Binte Zulkifli. No Aisha Binte Subahan. No Fahana Binte Kari. Nguyen Wee Iso. Oh Hui Jun. Oh Jiawen. Oh Qiong Luan. Valerie, cum laude. Oh Xiu Xia. Alice, cum laude. Oh Yi Hong. Ong Hui Shan. Ong Jiamin. Ong Junhian Jeremy, cum laude. Ong Kwok Chen Brian, cum laude. Zachary Ong Ming De, magna cum laude. Cassandra Ong Rei Mei. Samuel Ong Sheng Si. Ong Shi Hui. Ong Su Ling, cum laude. Rebecca Ong Sing Yi, summa cum laude. Ong Yi Ling, magna cum laude, Bachelor of Accountancy, Bachelor of Business Management. Ao Xin Yu. Good one. Charlie An, summa cum laude. Valencia Li Yan Fei.
Thank you, Dean Jerry and Senior Lecturer Ma.
Professors, guests, graduates, family and friends, thank you all for being here at this very important milestone of our lives.
As this ceremony draws to a close, we would like to invite all the 2019 graduates to stand up and adjust your tassels from the right to the left to indicate that you have graduated. Can we please invite all 2019 graduates to please stand up? And now, the usual tradition at the end of commencement, at the moment everyone has been waiting for, the celebratory toss. You need to add the count. Take out now. You need to add the count. Yeah. Okay, go.
Okay, everyone ready? This one take only. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Congratulations, class of 2019. We now formally declare this ceremony closed. Just one last housekeeping matter. May we request for all family and friends to remain seated so as to enable the faculty and graduates to leave the hall for the group photo. And now, may we invite the Dean to lead the grand recessional. Dean Jerry, please. We just remind all parents and families to remain seated first so that the graduates can leave for the group photo.
Once again, I'm Grace,
And I'm John.
and it has been our pleasure to be your MCs this morning. Please follow the directors of our ushers and join us for refreshments at level 2. Thank you and have a great day.